I'm Kevin. In today's video, I'm going to take you through deep cleaning the wheels. Uh, right now, this is the time of year where I'm swapping the wheels, the winter tires, for my all seasons. So, I try and take advantage of when I'm working on the car. If it presents an opportunity for me to do a deep clean, it's kind of one of the approaches that I like to try and take. So, you can see the barrels are really dirty. I'll let that dwell for a few minutes. The waterless wash, rinseless wash, it it encapsulates the dirt, lifts it off of the surface, and provides good lubrication. So I'm just working with it, see what it's like, trying to pick up, let's say, the technique for using it, and also, there are members of our club that may not have access to a hose. So I'm just trying to be, let's say, an advocate for them, and talk about techniques that they may use. So even if you do have access to a hose, I really like the idea of a waterless wash as a pre-wash. So before you use a traditional, let's say, two bucket method to clean your wheels, your vehicle, I recommend using the waterless wash as a pre-wash. So before you start touching the car with a microfiber wash mitt or a sponge, put the waterless wash on there. It'll encapsulate the dirt and provide some lubrication. And the idea behind all this is we're trying to not introduce swirls and scratches. When we're doing a wash, and even more importantly, when we're drying the car. That's really the time when you need the lubrication that you get from a product like this. So this has been soaking for a few minutes, and what I'm going to do now is I have some uh, wheel cleaner here. I'm going to spray that on. Because the front wheels are always so dirty, especially because as you apply the brakes, the weight of the car goes forward, and therefore your front disc brakes are doing the majority of the work, converting that kinetic speed into heat. So that's why they're always the dirtiest. So these are pretty soft bristle brushes. I want to get the tire clean. This is great when you have the wheel off. You can really get into the barrels here. One of the things that's really important to the hub of the wheel, where that's gonna the lug nuts connect. Make sure you get this clean because you want that to be as clean as possible. Because if it's not, if there's some grease or debris there, it's not going to seat as well, and you'll feel that if your steering wheel is vibrating, it's quite possible that this area might not be clean. So just think about it. You want this to be to mate as well as possible to the wheel hub. So getting behind the spokes. Okay. So while I have that on, so that was the brake cleaner. applying the Iron X product. And this will chemically react with the iron. Takes a couple minutes, and in chemically reacting, this particular product turns purple. I'm going to take this product off, and I'm going to spray again. That'll rinse some of it off. So while the cloth is more clean, I'm going to do the face of the wheel. So just looking at that, I'm pretty happy with the way this is coming out. Just a couple points regarding jacking up your car. You always want to check the owner's manual if you're not familiar with where the jack points are. One of the things that I do is I use these jack pads. So on the Porsche, underneath it's got an oval shape. So you put this up into the jack pad in that oval shape. It just keeps, let's say when the jack comes up, it keeps it from getting scratched. And if the paint on the jack pad gets scratched, you're gonna get rust. So I have the car in gear. I had the parking brake on, and I have a good 2x6 or a wheel chuck, something to keep the car from rolling back. When I'm taking the wheel off, let's say at the 9 o'clock and the 3 o'clock position, I put these pins in, and what they do is when you're taking the wheel off, they help keep you from damaging the rotor. The wheel's going to be heavy, and then also getting the wheel on can be tricky. Lining up the holes and everything, because our lug nuts come out on the Porsches. For this model anyway. And these pins really help at the 3 and 9 position. It makes it pretty stable when I'm trying to get the wheel on. So we're gonna do a deep clean on the caliper here, as well as the liner. So I'm gonna spray that waterless wash on here. So I've given a pretty deep pre-soak, pre-wash, because you want, if there's any road salt or grime in there, now's the time to try and get that out. Okay, I've had that dwelling for a few minutes. I'm going to use the wheel and brake cleaner that I have. Get that right on the caliper. Spraying the suspension, the wheel liner. And then Iron X, I'm going to get that. I'm going to try and avoid getting the Iron X on the wheel rotor, just on the caliper here. But the Iron X, that chemical decontaminant, it's safe to get this on the paint of the car too. It's pH neutral. So just for the products that you're using, make sure you read the manufacturer's labels, and before you just don't make any assumptions. Some products can be harsh and have acid in them, so these products are pH neutral. So just make sure you're careful about what you're doing. Always read the label. I'm just going to agitate with my wheel brush. Do the wheel liner. So when you're working on your car yourself, be observant of some of the things that I'm looking for. Now that I have the wheel off, I'm looking at the suspension part, seeing if the bump stop is cracked. You want to try and keep the small problems small, not let them get more serious. So while you're in here, take a look at the lines, the brake lines, etc. You're just looking to make sure there's nothing obvious broken. When I was rolling the wheels from where I store them, I'm looking at the treads to see if I see any glass or nails or a screw in the tread. Okay, so I've had the product dwelling, and before I wipe it off with a microfiber, I'm going to put some more of this rinseless wash on. So that really, washes off quite a bit of what was on there, foam, dirt wise. So now I'm going to dry things off, doing the brake caliper first. Then I'll go around and do the inside, have the tires be at the correct inflation level. So on my car, the sticker for the recommended tire pressure is right inside the door. And so I'm going to do that now. Okay, so when it comes to torquing the wheel on, you want the wheel to be flush up against the hub. So while the wheel is still up in the air, you want to try and do your best to, let's say, torque it. It's, this is going to be a two-step process. So do the best you can to make it snug. Then you're going to lower the jack so that the wheel is just touching the ground and won't spin, and then you'll be able to do the final torque. Okay. So I'm going to go in a star pattern with this across. Okay. And now I'll lower the wheel and do the final touch. I hope you found the video helpful. You take care now. Bye-bye.